2 bags, please. When you drop acid, man, you like, and you freak out and you have like a bad trip, man, you know. That's my fingering hand. Time to get down on your knees and that kind of thing. And, you know, that's a funky tea.
So, Niall.
I'm Nile Rodgers, and we're backstage at South by Southwest London, and this is my cup of tea. Take my favorite recording studio in the world, Abbey Road. So I will take some Earl Grey. You're gonna be shocked that for a cup this size, I'm gonna use 3 bags. It used to be 2. And the reason why I did 2, in the song Superfly by Curtis Mayfield, in the bridge, he's selling. I just think that it's the most brilliant lyric of all time. It's a big space, and then he goes, 2 bags, please. And I just think that sounds so cool. The reason why Japanese cups do not have handles is because they say if the cup is too hot for your hand, it's too hot for your mouth. Oh, rock and roll mouthwash is not tea, that's Dom Perignon champagne. So my best rock and roll mouthwash story is when I was denied entry to Studio 54. Though I had been invited to the hottest club in the world by Grace Jones herself, I knew what her voice sounded like on records. Time to get down on your knees and that kind of thing. And, you know, pull up to the bumper, baby, when you're long black limousine. You know, I got that. But that's not how she spoke. Her voice sounded like a cross between Marlene Dietrich, Bela Lugosi, and Bob Marley. So she's on the phone and she says to me, "You come to the back door of Studio 54 and you tell them your personal friend, so Miss Grace Jones." So I knock on the back door. Finally, I get the doorman's attention. We kick in the door. "What do you guys want?" "We keep doing personal friends. Personal friends. We are personal friends of Miss Grace Jones." And the guy slams the door in our faces and goes, "Oh, fuck off." My apartment was just 1 block away from the back door to Studio 54. We pass what we call a liquor store, you guys call an off license. We go in, grab 2 bottles of rock and roll mouthwash, which is Dom Perignon champagne, pick up our instruments. I don't know if I can pull it off on that thing. Let me see. This is gonna be pretty ridiculous. Aw, fuck off. Fuck Studio 54. Fuck off. We knew we couldn't get that version on the radio, so we didn't change it to Freak Off. I'll tell you, did he? Good thing we didn't use that. So I looked at my partner Bernard, who was the antithesis of real hippie. "Oh man, you know, like when you drop acid, man, you like, and you freak out and you have like a bad trip, man, you know." And Bernard looked at me like I was some kind of Martian or something. He said, "What the hell are you talking about?" He didn't know anything about acid and LSD. And I said, "Well, you know, when you see some fine sisters on the dance floor and, you know, you're like freaking out with them," and light bulb goes off over Bernard's head. And he says, "Oh yeah, it's like that new dance my kids are doing, the freak." And we said, "Yeah, let's write a song about this dance." I had an Indian housekeeper. And he said to me one day, he says, "Mr. Rodgers, I am Indian and I know a hell of a lot about tea." And he would get the bag, wrap the bags, ouch. That's my fingering hand. Squeeze every drop of tea out of it, just to extract all the flavor out of the tea bag. They lay the tea out and all that kind of stuff before they bag it and send it to us. And I think tea should be like sacred and like should be somehow recycled and not just thrown in the garbage after you use it. That's just me. I do like it sweet. There's always music in my head all the time. So I have to turn it off to concentrate on everything else. So when I am drinking tea, for a moment, I get to just chill. Just chill, just for a moment. I'm actually digging the fact that this is so weird. I could see like a young kid getting something like this from their parents and taking it very seriously. You know what I mean? As James Brown would say, down D, funky D, down T, funky T, down T. That's a funky T. Oh, come on. See, that was a very deceptive trick, because now my tea is cool enough for me to drink. I can hang. I'm Nile Rodgers, and that was my cup of tea.